Welcome to Sajjad Classics, where we explore the iconic figures of Hollywood's golden age. In today's episode, we delve into the remarkable life and career of one of cinema's most enchanting stars, Rita Hayworth. She was the ultimate femme fatale, Hollywood's dazzling redhead, and one of the brightest stars of the golden age of cinema. But behind the glamorous facade, Rita Hayworth's life was a tapestry of triumphs, struggles, and heartbreak. This is the story of the real Rita Hayworth, an icon on the screen and a complex woman behind it. Born Margarita Cansino on October 17, 1918 in Brooklyn, New York, Rita Hayworth was destined for the spotlight. She came from a showbiz family. Her father, Eduardo Cansino, was a renowned Spanish dancer, and her mother, Volga Hayworth, was a dancer and Ziegfeld girl. At an early age, Rita began performing with her father in dance shows, but her journey to stardom was far from easy. The Cansino family moved to Hollywood, and Rita's exotic looks were both a blessing and a challenge. Early in her career, she was cast in ethnic roles that stereotyped her Spanish heritage. It wasn't until the studios decided to transform her into an all-American beauty that her career took off. By the late 1930s, Rita Hayworth had her breakthrough. In Only Angels Have Wings, 1939, opposite Cary Grant, she began to capture attention. But it was Blood and Sand, 1941, with her smoldering performance as a temptress that solidified her as Hollywood's new star. Her sultry presence, elegance, and undeniable beauty made her the dream girl of a generation, leading her to be cast in a string of successful films.
Put the blame on Maine, boy. Put the blame on Maine.
And then came Gilda, 1946, the role that would define her forever. As the sultry, rebellious Gilda, Rita Hayworth delivered one of the most iconic performances of her career. The image of her flipping her hair back and singing "Put the Blame on Mame" became a part of Hollywood legend. Hayworth was more than just an actress in Gilda. She was the embodiment of Hollywood allure. Her character's mysterious, provocative charm set a new standard for femme fatales. Dressed in a strapless black satin gown designed by Jean Louis, Rita became the symbol of glamour in post-war America. The dress alone was enough to captivate audiences, but it was Rita's magnetism that truly electrified the screen. At the height of her fame, Hayworth's image became a global sensation. Her posters were everywhere, on the walls of movie theaters, inside soldiers' barracks, and even on the sides of military planes during World War II. She was loved by everyone, from the soldiers who idolized her as a pin-up queen to world leaders, army generals, and royal family members. During World War II, Rita Hayworth was the ultimate dream girl for millions of men. Her image became a symbol of hope, beauty, and escapism during one of the darkest periods in history. Generals, movie stars, and even members of royal families were known to be captivated by her beauty and star power. She was more than a Hollywood star. She was a phenomenon. Rita Hayworth's Gilda was a turning point in her career. She was no longer just an actress, she was an icon. But the immense fame came with a price. Hayworth later reflected on this period of her life, saying, "Men fell in love with Gilda, but they woke up with me." It was a telling insight into the pressures of being a Hollywood symbol. In 1952, after a brief hiatus from Hollywood following her marriage to Prince Ali Khan, Rita Hayworth made a stunning comeback in Affaire in Trinidad. The film reunited her with Glenn Ford, her co-star from Gilda, and though it was meant to capitalize on their earlier chemistry, it stood out on its own for showcasing Hayworth's undeniable allure. In Affaire in Trinidad, Hayworth played an American nightclub singer tangled in a web of intrigue. The film's steamy dance numbers and suspenseful plot reignited her status as a screen siren. Despite mixed reviews, audiences flocked to see her, proving once again that Rita Hayworth had an unshakable hold on Hollywood's imagination. Beyond her acting, Rita Hayworth was a remarkable dancer, trained by her father from a young age. Dancing was in her blood, and her talent shone brightly on screen. In You Were Never Lovelier, 1942, she performed alongside the legendary Fred Astaire, dazzling audiences with her grace and style. Astaire himself once said she was his favorite dance partner, praising her natural elegance. Cover Girl, 1944, Hayworth danced with Gene Kelly in one of the film's most memorable sequences. Her ability to switch between tap, ballet, and ballroom showcased her versatility as a performer. Whether it was sophisticated ballroom numbers or fiery Latin dances in films, Hayworth's dancing was not just a performance, it was pure artistry. Behind the scenes, Rita's personal life was filled with tumult. She was married 5 times, each marriage more public and tumultuous than the last. Her first 2 marriages were brief, but her third marriage to Orson Welles in 1943 brought the press into a frenzy. With Orson Welles, she starred in The Lady from Shanghai, a film that challenged glamour girl persona, but their relationship was strained, and by the time the film was released, their marriage was over. In 1949, Hayworth made headlines again, this time by marrying Prince Ali Khan, becoming the first Hollywood star to marry into royalty. It was a fairy tale romance, but it ended in divorce just a few years later. Despite the joy of her 2 daughters, Yasmin and Rebecca, Rita's personal life was plagued by instability and loneliness. Although her star had somewhat dimmed by the 1950s, Hayworth continued to act in films like Pal Joey, 1957, alongside Frank Sinatra and Separate Tables, 1958, for which she earned critical praise. But the roles were fewer, and as the spotlight began to fade, so too did her health. In the 1970s, Hayworth's erratic behavior was dismissed as the result of alcoholism, but in reality, she was suffering from the early stages of Alzheimer's disease, an illness that was not well understood at the time. As her memory faded, so did her connection to Hollywood. It was her daughter, Yasmin, who later brought attention to the illness and became an advocate for Alzheimer's awareness. By the time Rita Hayworth passed away in 1987, she had left behind an indelible mark on Hollywood and the world. She was more than just a movie star. She was an icon of beauty, talent, and strength. Yet her life was a reminder of the complexities behind the glamorous image Hollywood often projects. Rita Hayworth remains a symbol of the golden age of Hollywood, timeless, captivating, and unforgettable. But beyond the lights of the camera, she was a woman who fought battles both public and private. In the end, her legacy lives on, not just in the films she made, but in the strength she showed in the face of adversity. Don't forget to hit subscribe for more classic cinema stories and timeless Hollywood legends.